Welcome to the inaugural Home League Pod. The people want content, the written word is dead, and the podcast is here. Today, we have a very special guest. He is the league's all time win leader, 9 total playoff appearances. He's got 5 top 3 finishes and 2 championships. I am, of course, referring to the white man's burden himself, Mr. Glenn Carney. Please join us, Glenn. All right,
There we go,
there he
baby.
is. There he
Here we
is.
go.
Mr. Carney, thank you for joining us on the Home League Pod. Glad to have you. How are you doing, sir?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. We're both 3-0. You are sitting here in third place. Looking pretty good.
Who would have
Draft
thought?
looking all right.
Who would have thought?
I've got the AJ Brown jersey on to celebrate. But I'm gonna give the people a quick rundown because we don't know what we're quite doing yet. We're gonna go over, talk about Glenn's team a little bit. We'll talk about past matchups. We'll get into the standings and power rankings. We'll preview the week and then we'll close it out. So looking for about 10, maybe 15 minutes here since it's the first one. But let's get things started. Glenn, like I said, you are 3-0. We are coming off a good season, coming off a first place finish last year, but maybe an earlier playoff exit than you wanted. So talk me through, did any of that maybe linger in your mind as you were going through this year's draft? Anything you wanted to do differently with your team, and what are your feelings in the first couple weeks?
I think Duffy being the winner last year. I don't think he traded, so I've been thinking about being easy on the trade aspect because I feel like last year I drafted a good team and I just got excited and it just happens. But maybe I'll go that route for now. But if something comes up that will help my team, then I'll take it. But usually by now I feel like might have 2 trades made already, but it's been slow in the trade market all around. So
Yeah,
maybe
you
there
know
won't
what?
be any trade anyway.
It's early. I don't think anyone's jumping off maybe some of their draft feelings so far. But yeah, taking a look at your team, you did go heavy on the wide receivers. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb off to a great start. AJ Brown, we're up in the jersey today, bounces back last week. But for someone who took wide receivers early, obviously Lamb down with a little bit of an ankle injury. But you've got maybe 4 competent running backs. So are you feeling pretty good about that? Who are you maybe most excited about amongst that group so far?
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Cook's doing great for me. I think Judkins, I'm fired up for. Kind of just fell in my lap. I
Yeah,
wasn't
I know
really like
Jesse's
targeting
mounting
him
him.
at all. Yeah, he took the wrong dude. So I mean, it happens. You're rolling, you're playing roulette. So I got the right number there.
All right, perfect, perfect. So yeah, 3-0, looking pretty deep at running back, looking pretty nice at wide receiver once everybody's healthy. I know obviously you couldn't help yourself and took some Cortland Sutton. Unfortunately, you missed Michael Pittman. That was the person that's been cursed this year. How are we feeling on quarterback? I see that we're streaming CJ Stroud this week. I know I like the Joe Burrow acquisition for the vibes. Open spot on that IR. But how are we feeling at quarterback this year? We going with streams? Are you looking maybe to solidify that with some of those running backs later on, or are we just gonna we believe in CJ Stroud turning things around?
No, I don't know. I think I'm waiting for CD to go on IR. I got a guy or two in my mind to just kind of pair with CJ Stroud. But this week at least, I like him against the Titans, so I figured maybe he'll have a bounce back week and um, big week from Nico Collins, and then Christian Kirk's back. So I mean, if he could get the ball rolling with him, I think that's a good connection. So hopefully it all falls together and he has a good week. So just looking for at least like 15 points, but we'll see.
All right, we love it. We love it. All right, let's hop into our next section. We're gonna get into last week's matchups. I'm gonna pull up a different view here. Let's start with. We'll go to our matchups. We'll start with myself versus Ryan and you versus Jesse. So obviously, I'll start with me just up the top there. Josh Allen and Puka Nacua putting together another solid week. Jordan Mason playing that RB1 role. Unfortunately, Ryan, really just a tough look with those running backs with Henderson and Chase Brown just not panning out so far. Just didn't really have it in there after Thursday night when Josh Allen put up a good score. So Ryan maybe lost on Thursday, and then you took on Jesse, and I know he was excited for this matchup, but unfortunately, a couple things didn't roll his way, and you had AJ Brown come alive. Any reactions here from these two matchups that stick out to you? Any shit talking you want to get in real quick on Jesse?
Oh no, I just feel bad for Jesse. Derrick Henry's not looking like himself, falling off a cliff. I just think he might be done, and he doesn't seem like he wants to move him yet. So we'll see what happens with him. But
Love it,
we'll be
love it. Yes,
praying. I
use
will be
that
praying.
platform, Glenn. Yeah, nothing crazy here. Again, Sutton, doing really well. 18.8 points. He looks pretty good this year. And then yeah, Andrew Brown, Jimmy Cook, can't really fight it there. Gonna have a good team, but yeah, we'll move on. Nothing really surprising here on these matchups. Let's hop into. We'll go to Bill and Nick, our 0 and 2 battle, and then we'll bring out Steve and Brendan. So, any reactions? Anything jump out that you want to call out? Either of these matchups?
Not really. When I was looking at him, there nothing too crazy. I like Nicky P. He has Caleb Williams, right?
He does, yes.
Yeah, so I mean that's huge too. He went off last week, and I mean sky's the limit for him too. If he can continue to keep going, he has shit ton of wide receivers to throw to, two big tight ends. I think it's confidence with him. If he could just keep his nail polish on, he'll be good to go.
Yep, likes to run a little bit too. Who would you
Yep.
say between we've got both of our 0 and 3 teams here, just two teams 0 and 3 right now. However, a lot of teams 1 and 2, nothing to get too worried about. If which team would you say is more fucked from the 0 and 3 starts here?
Uh, I was looking at, I think it was Ryan's team earlier. Yeah, let's or not Ryan. Ryan's 1 and 2 now, but he's fucked.
Yeah, he's got to win. He's all right.
Yeah.
We'll get to power rankings.
Just Bill having Dolphins RB1 Nate Chain, uh, kind of tough. I just don't know what's going on in Miami. They look like shit. The coach is a little shithead. Can't take him serious.
I heard he's been
Um,
microdosing constantly, just constantly
yeah,
microdosing.
makes sense. He's a
All right.
sweaty little creep.
Yep.
I mean, I love Laporta this year, and he just hasn't really been getting enough yards after the catch. He catches it and falls down, so that's not good. If it was PPR, it might be a little bit better, but he just can't get yards after the catch.
I think I may have sucked all the value out of his fantasy career that first year I took him. Yeah, yeah. Looking at Bill and Nick. I looking at the week. I did think that Nick was going to take it. He had a couple matchups that looked pretty good. Kyron's doing well. Kenneth Walker's doing all right. Yeah, it just seemed like he had a couple more pieces. Whereas Bill's guys are solid. I feel like Devonta Adams is pretty. That's a good showing case of where the team is at. It's a good role, good guy, but not necessarily putting the points together. And I just don't know where it's
Right.
necessarily going to come from week over week. And then we go to
Yeah.
Steve, our first place leader. He's got the RB1 here in Jonathan Taylor on the season, and the number one wide receiver in Amon-Ra St. Brown. Pretty good start for our buddy Steve. AI obviously, has its most data when it's the off season, so its predictions are the best then. So hard to compete against the computer here. But we're gonna do our best, and we'll move on to our next couple matchups, and we'll take a look at.
He started off like 5-0 last year. I
You
feel like
know,
too. He had a good start
last five
last year.
years, Steve's got 4 or 5 playoff appearances. He's doing really well. He's got and especially in the first 5 weeks, really kind of dominating.
As
So
far as robot.
our final couple matchups here, we've got Evan between a Brock and a hard place versus the Capital City Jameer Cats and our honorary commissioner, our honorable commissioner, James Ferraro. And then below that, we see Ned go to 2-1 over a 2-0 team in Tyler after Tyler puts up kind of a stinky week. I'm gonna take the lead on this one. I was looking at Tyler's team. For a team that started 2-0, I'm not quite sure. Goff scares me. Obviously, I could have taken Bijan. I passed. Ibuka gets a bump with Collins, with Evans being hurt, but I'm worried about this team's upside. To put a little branded term in there, Ned on top of him, just a classic Ned team. Just the ugliest roster you've ever seen score 85 points consistently. Can't believe he did it again. Can't believe he did it again. And then Jimmy grabs. He negged himself. Master negging. By Jimmy saying he never wins on Monday night, and then Jameer Gibbs scores 20 points. He goes on to win. That's just how it's done. Really can't knock him. That's how you win in this league. So any reactions here? Any players jump out at you? Obviously, Omarion Hampton gets a big bump for Evan. Drake May doing well, but any reactions out of these?
Oh, just you draft Lamar Jackson early and you expected him to put up at least 25 a game. He did that. So I mean that's just huge having that extra. 25 to 30 points from him. So
Another year
he
as the
did his
QB.
thing, and that'll get the job done.
Another year the QB. All right, perfect. All right, we will jump out of these here really quickly. No need to relive in the past. We're going to jump into. Let me get rid of that. Sorry about that. Oh no, first technical error. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, we're going to jump into standings. It's a little smaller. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Look at this. We're missing a team.
Oh.
There we go. We'll have that set up better next week, fellas. All right. So, first place, we've got 3-0 teams, myself, yourself, and Steven Ranciato up at 3-0. Our playoff percentage is over 85% already. Steve and I in the 90s, myself at 92 in number one. And then we've got just 2-1 teams. We've got Tyler and Ned, and then a slew of slop. Any teams that you think are poised to make a surge as we move through the second, we'll call it 3-week stint of the season, or any teams that you think are complete frauds?
I know that Jimmy's in the middle of the pack, but I think his team's going to make a push up to the top. I think Marvin Harrison's going to get back to who he's supposed to be. I think he's been a letdown, but I'm taking that jump tonight. I think he's going to have a good night. I could be wrong, but that's just what I
Could be a
think he's going to be back.
Could be a stingy Seattle defense. I like Jimmy's team. I don't know where I'm at on Drake London. I have him in Dynasty, so revealing my bias here. But I kind of hate him. I hate him. I'm bored with him. I'm done with the Falcons. I feel the same way I feel about him with Bijan, except he's even less talented. So hopefully he does well because I have him. I'm in there with Jimmy. I'm a shareholder. But yeah, we'll see. I think Jimmy's team definitely didn't deserve to be 0-2. It was a rough start from our commissioner, who's had a little bit of a history of rough starts. But he's healthy. Knock on wood, he's healthy. Jimmy, I'll do something to unhex you there. My call it is tie. I'm a little worried. I think that 2-0 start looked good. Jaden Daniels obviously hurt now. Takes the L, in the 1 week without him. He paid a high price to get Jaden Daniels, but I'm just not sure. Same with Bill. I just don't know where the upside really ultimately is. Does he have a week, a game changer, someone who could just come in, dominate a week, change the matchup completely? Maybe. We'll see. See some other teams. I think Rillo's team is a lot better than 0-2. I think he's going to make a little bit of a push here. I know Denny Carter kind of stuck a fork in him before the season even started, but I think a couple things will start to break his way, and I also think a Tyreek Hill trade is pretty inevitable, and I'm pretty sure he has Tyreek. I don't have that in front of me.
Yep.
All right. Who do you think is the best team in the league? Who do you think is number one right now? You can say yourself. You've got 4 running backs, and I think that is always a pretty good argument to be made. But any teams that you're like, I don't really want to face them, or I hope someone gets hurt drastically on their team.
Yeah. Who was it? Whoever has Josh Allen and Saquon Barkley, that's who I think.
And
I want
Trey
them both to
McBride
get
and Puka
hurt.
Nacua.
Right, yeah. I want them all to get hurt. So,
All right.
I think your team is at 1 right now. I hate to say it, but
All right. The ESPN
they're looking good. I mean, Quentin Johnson, if he could keep that pace up, that's just huge. Him going undrafted in our league is pretty pathetic, but it is what it is.
I paid the price. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. For number one, I like to think of myself up there. I do think that flex and running back could get a little dicey, and yeah, I'm what's called a glass cannon. One little, and I'm fucked. But if nothing happens,
It's slippery.
Nothing, like you said. Brendan didn't make any trades last year. It's a no
Right.
trade league. It's just how it is. That's how you
Right.
win.
No.
So, all right. I don't think we need too much on the standings, too much on the power rankings. We'll get more into this as we get closer to playoffs and some interesting things actually start to happen. Let's take a look. Let's jump in. We're at 14 minutes. This might be a 20-minute pod. I feel bad for people, but
Wow.
you know what?
Wow.
We're trying to monetize this YouTube channel. We're trying to get there. This felt like 2 minutes. All right.
It felt like 5 minutes. Damn.
All right, here we're going to jump into our first matchup of the week. We'll start with you. You are facing, obviously, what do you call Evan these days? What does he do you?
Who am I playing?
Evan.
My brother-in-law?
All right, nice. Congratulations,
Yeah.
Evan. Evan Carney, I
Right.
like it. So we've got a little bit of a, I hate to do it to you matchup here. We've got Evan. We've got Glenn. The line is plus 3.9 Evan. So The algorithm's giving Glenn the edge. I'll make a prediction since you're here in this matchup. Obviously, you're going to hopefully take yourself. Hopefully, you've got that confidence. I hope none of my friends would ever not take themselves. But I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to go with Glenn. I really think that the Jamar Chase storyline this year is very sad. It's unfortunate, but I just don't know if he can get to the level that you need. Amari Hampton, Drake May, doing really well. You know, Amari Hampton obviously just gets that big bump with Harris out of the way. Pearsall, you know, I've seen people saying that he's going to have a good matchup. Chris Godwin's coming back, and Mike Evans is gone. Brock Bowers is great. Things could happen. But I am a little bit worried about, again, the upside of Jamar Chase. I'm worried overall with Ricky Pearsall and Mac Jones. Chris Godwin could be on a snap count. Brock Bowers is probably also on a limited role from that knee injury that was a little bit haunting in the first week. So again, I think Evan's team is good. I think in 4 weeks these teams could have a great head-to-head. But I think right now, Glenn, I'm giving you the edge. Any feedback on that? Any feelings? Anything you'd like to share? Any shit talking you'd like to get out of the way?
Yeah, no, not shit talking, but just I think Evan's just going to dominate me for some reason. I just think Jamar Chase 2 touchdowns, Pearsall 3 touchdowns, Brock Bowers maybe 4. So
Admitted,
he's got this week wrapped up with a tie on it. Oh yeah, Hampton, unreal player. It's gonna be a blowout.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Hampton start to emerge a little bit here. Admittedly, as I was talking, I was starting to talk myself out of you winning and talking myself into Evan winning. But again, I'm going to hold out. I'm going to say that, you know, Cortland Sutton, AJ Brown are going to have some good weeks. James Cook looking like he's going to have another monster week. So I'm going to stick with my first prediction. All right, next matchup. Let's bring in our commissioner versus Nick Barillo. You want to start us off? The line is
Yeah.
plus 8.7 toward Jimmy. So they are giving it to Rillo. What do you got?
So this is a good qualifier for lose on Thursday. We got Marvin Harrison versus Kenneth Walker. Who's going to put up an egg? Who's going to go off? Coming into this game, I also had a feeling that maybe there won't be any like one of those games. There's no first half touchdowns, and it's just a dud. We've had some good Thursday night games so far, and this is the first one that could be a stinker. So that's on my mind as well. But I also think that both of these teams could put up numbers. Division rivals, if you want to call them that, but those are also stinker games. So we'll see. I like Marvin Harrison tonight, though. We'll see.
All right, all right. Oh man, yeah, the NFC West, home of stinker divisional matchups. I definitely could see this one being an ugly 16-19 kind of score.
Right.
I am gonna lean toward Jimmy this week. I think Drake London is looking to act, as much as I just talk shit about him, I do think that he's looking to make a statement this week after they weren't too good last week. I don't think he got the ball too much, so maybe they're incentivized to really focus on him. Lamar's going to show out against Pat. He's going to go out. You know, they're going to give him the underneath stuff, I think, like they did last year. Maybe try to take away those deep balls that he's been connecting on, but I think that just opens up the rushing lanes for him. So I think Lamar goes off. Devonta Smith maybe has a big week. You know, I think teams will again try to shut down AJ Brown, make it their focus. Roma Dunze, I think, is definitely in for a big week. So I agree. I think Kenneth Walker might kind of get snuffed out a little bit. You know, it's hard to say with Justin Jefferson playing with Wentz what he's really going to be capable of on the upside. And again, if Caleb Williams is having a big day, Roma Dunze could be a big part of that. So I think that might cap Rilla's ability to kind of climb away, especially if Lamar Jackson is also scoring. So I'm going to take Jimmy on this one. All right, moving on to Jesse and Ryan. So we've got a 6.7 spread. Ryan is the team. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this Ryan? This is Jesse versus Ryan. So Jesse is the team who is getting the advantage. Who are you thinking in this one, Glenn?
I have Jesse. I know I was talking shit about Derrick Henry, but I think that this is his week to come out. He has a lot to prove right now. I think he has a big week. I think that Smith and Jigba tonight is going to not do too well. I saw him getting a lot of hype today from different roto guys and all that, but I don't see it. I don't think the Cardinals have been too giving up too much stuff on defense, so they have a good secondary, and I think that it's going to continue tonight. So, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I got Jesse winning this week after the heartbreaker he had last week.
Love it. Yeah, I've got Jesse too. I'll try to keep mine quick. I think Tyquan Thornton ends up being the stream of the week against Baltimore there. So I think he comes down with one or two, maybe two long ones, maybe a touchdown. I think Brian Thomas will get out of there eventually. So we'll be quick here in the incentive of time. Let's bring up we'll bring up Tyler and Bill. Desperate week for Bill. Ty looking to get things right. He's pretty banged up. We've got a pretty tight line at 1.1 for Bill with the disadvantage here. He's getting the handicap. I'll just kick us off. I'm going to go with Bill. I think Christian McCaffrey shows up. I think Devon Achane has a week that he can go out. I'm not sure what the rest of the team is really going to do. Maybe Dontavian Wicks ends up stealing that Tyquan Thornton spot, but Jordan Love probably in for a big week. I don't think Jaden Daniels plays. I don't know how much McMillan's going to be able to do, and I think Ibuka is going to get the majority of Guantanamo Bay treatment. So we'll see. I don't know if he's going to be in a position to have a great week. What are you feeling here?
I had Ty. I think Robinson is going to do well. I saw the Falcons made some movements with their wide receivers coach. He got fired. So they have a new guy kind of probably helping the offensive coordinator call some plays and like what to do. So I think it's going to open up some areas for Bijan. So I could see him having a huge week and carrying his team to the W.
All right. Keep it quick. I love it. We will go to Steve and Ned next. Steve, our 3-0 team, although he is looking at being the underdog by 5.6 this week with only one position, Jonathan Taylor against Ashton Genty being the advantage. What do you see happening here? Is Ned going to squeak out the first win against our current first place leader, Steve?
Yep. I got Nico Collins and Zay Flowers having a good week. I think the Ravens altogether are just going to have a great week after what happened to them the other night. But Nico Collins, too. I think him and CJ Stroud are going to have a fun weekend.
I like it. Yeah, I'm going to take Ned in this one as well. I think Steve's team is going to hit a little bit of trouble with Trey Tucker and maybe even Njoku in there. And I don't know what Chuba Hubbard's going to do. New England probably plays an early game, even though their defense hasn't been too great. And yeah, I think, well, you know what? Jalen Hurts in Tampa Bay, that has been his kryptonite, and Ned has needed Jalen Hurts every point that he has scored. So we will see. It could be a little bit of an interesting week with that one. All right, and then last matchup, we'll do this one even faster. Myself versus Brendan. Brendan looking to avoid a dreaded 0-4 start. Me looking to capitalize, take on that 4-0 start. I've got Trey McBride going. I do not have a flex play. Maybe people can come in and say whether or not who I should flex. Although I do believe I've added Luther Burden to my flex spot. Nothing against you, but I'm going for that weak Las Vegas defense to give maybe a long touchdown to him. I'll just start. I'm going to take myself. I've got all the check marks except for the position that I'm not starting. I'm not going to get that one from Josh Jacobs, but again, you got to pick yourself. So I will go myself. What about you? What do you see happening?
Match of the week. Who did I pick for this one? I have you too. I have Mason having a huge game. Steelers cannot stop the run. If the Patriots didn't fumble 10 times last week, they're going to continue to run it down their throat. Kenneth Walker the week before that, and then who did they play week one? Jets. Brees Hall had the game of his best game of his last 3 years. So I think Mason's just going to pound it down their throat and have 2 touchdowns and carry you all the way.
Love it. All right. Perfect. Well, that brings us through all of our matchups. Hopefully I didn't screw anything up. Obviously, this is a little bit longer than we initially anticipated, but I'm going to end us out on our final segment, hoping we can make this a consistent one. Glenn, you've got a kid on the way. You've got plenty of things going on in your life. Give us a quick update, maybe a 60-second life update. What do you got going on? Any announcements do you want to make? Maybe we'll break some news on the pod, not necessarily hinting at anything, but yeah, take it away. What do you got for us? Close us out.
Yeah, no, nothing too exciting. Just getting ready. Monday's the baby's due date, so been cleaning the house every day, just going crazy. But trying to stay chilled out, and that's it. 3 months off of work, so I'm looking forward to that. So
How bad's the diarrhea?
it's pretty bad, dude.
It's pretty bad.
I'm already
All right.
shitting myself.
We will pray for you. I'm going to cut us off there to end this thing at 25 minutes because I already know Nick Perillo was mad at least 19 minutes ago. So we're going to end it. Guys, I will say two things. We have a YouTube channel. That's where this video is going to be hosted. We also have an email. So if you've got any sit-start questions, if you've got predictions you want to share, if you've got segments, if you've got ideas, let us know. HomeLeaguePod, know you in league at gmail.com. I will see you next week.